Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Now, the greatest story never told with Miles and Thrill.
Okay, welcome back, everyone, to the greatest story never told. This is episode number 6, I believe.
I have no idea.
Yeah, the last we left you, we had made it to Seattle. We had found our contraband that we had put into our jar of Metamucil. All is good. We are going to go a little bit back in time to catch you up on what happened and what transpired between that time when we came out here,
Sure.
and did our interview where we had no money and we got lucky in Vegas on the Wheel of Fortune, to the 2 weeks in between where we actually got on that flight. Now, we told you about the fact that Ted didn't know where we were going kind of in a geographic sense, but we didn't tell you like what happened in the interim. So basically what happened is we get the offer when I catch on fire
Yes.
from Sergeant Hair Club. At this point in time, we are in. We're going to take the job.
Absolutely.
We're going to go in there and do the professional thing, which is put in our 2 weeks.
That is correct. And we went in and, we sat them down, 2 bosses we had to talk to give 2 weeks' notice because
Sure.
that is the professional thing to do. And the idea is like, look, we'll work the next 2 weeks on the show so you guys can figure out what you're going to do. And then we have another 2 weeks of best ofs. This buys you guys a month. But their response to us, as soon as, seriously, they're sitting down. We need to talk to you guys. We tell them our situation. Hey, man, we're giving her 2 weeks' notice. We're going to move on. Instantly, get out of the building. I mean, like, it was unbelievable. That was their response.
No, they escorted us out. Interestingly enough, one of the bosses who had done his best to try to kind of wrangle us in and make sure that everything was okay, as soon as we told him, he had this look of relief on his face and gave us this look like, and this is a guy that's always been kind of more of an authoritarian. And
He was our babysitter. He was a corporate babysitter because no one, Mike, trusted us to perhaps not get drunk or
Right.
honest to God. And that's what this guy's job was. They basically paid him, and he got on our nerves a lot.
And he looked us in the eye and he gave us a hug and he said, "Thank you guys. This is great. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, run.
Run.
Those were his
Run.
words.
We love you. Go. We'll see each other down the road," which we have. Okay, so that was all true.
But we did not expect that from this guy. This guy
No.
was like the mean nun teacher, and then you find out 20 years later she actually liked you.
Yeah.
Like he was that guy.
So, we had all these friends in the building and all these things going on where now we can't even work out our time. And we said, like, look, we'll be professional, but that's not how radio works. When you put in your time, at that time, you're gone. So we decided to kind of throw a little party for ourselves, a little going away party with the listeners and everything else. But in the meantime, we wanted our CDs, our best of that we had, our tapes, which we have sitting here in a pile
But understand.
right in front of us.
We were trying to buy them a month. We will work 2 weeks. Here's 2 weeks of best ofs. All right. That was your response is get the hell out of the building. And like I said, handily removed from the building. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead and get these CDs back. We're not giving them nothing, but that is maybe illegal. I don't know. It didn't matter.
We felt like if they're going to treat us like that, we're going to take our tapes. They're going to have to figure out what to put on. So if they don't want us there, they don't. That's
the
great.
Quote from our boss at the time: "We coordinated with someone who works there, who shall remain nameless, Michael Scamponi, and I'm not making this up. He met us in an alley, and he had a box full of CDs. It was all the best ofs they could have played, every single one. We jumped into Miles' car. We drive off. We put him in my place. We wait for the call. Now our boss, former boss, calls. And he's the guy that kicked us out of the building, by the way. Hey, I'm in a bind. Those were his words. We can't find the best ofs. Do you know where they are? I said, Bob, I don't work there anymore, man. I can't help you, but I know that they used to store them in the closet down the hall, blah, blah, blah. Calls me back about 15 minutes later. I cannot repeat the words he said, mostly because my son is sitting in the studio right now.
Yes, he is.
What's going on, bro? But my boss said some horrible words, but he knew I took them. I would not admit to it. He's raging angry. Then he has I don't want to say the guy's name, but he was real high up at CBS Radio corporate.
Mm-hmm.
This guy calls me, right? And again, I'm like, I can't help you. I know that we gave our notice. We were professional. We were escorted out of the building. Anything that's happened there since then, I don't possibly know. So anyway, years and years and years ago, they've been sitting in a box in my garage, recently cleaned out the garage, and then here's all of these best of CDs from Baltimore.
We have the stack, and to give you an idea, because
but we don't know what is on here. I mean,
we do.
honestly,
Actually, segment 1, here's Katie Segal. Now, you know her from Married with Children and
yeah, but that's easy. Mine says
like
segment.
Breaking Bad.
No.
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, right. We also have a call from Miles, proctologist. And I'm really glad that Elliot has no idea what that is. Then we have J.J. Walker.
Yeah, but yours are interviews. Mine says segment 2, question of the day. Why do you hate immigrants? Now, wait. Segment 3 on the same one, it just says code Jewish. I don't know what this stuff is.
But keep in mind, this is a different time. This is back in 2013.
But I didn't think we were terrible.
So we
people.
talked to the people from the
2003.
Anchor Bar in Buffalo. Ted Towine is what I have on this one. Here's another one to give you an idea of the stuff we were doing at that point in time.
Planned Parenthood. That is. So here's the thing. At one point, we were like, let's just play this for people. It kind of came to our attention earlier today when we were doing our show. Maybe we should go back and review some of the things that we have done. Mm-hmm. We were not aware of this. And I think this would be a good time to bring up, what is it, the real first Thanksgiving. This is kind of what inspired us to get a little
go back and look. Yeah.
So Ted had written The Real First Thanksgiving back in 2003, 2004.
It's on here. It's in one of these CDs.
We began performing it in Baltimore. We continued it much like Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. Every year we would do it on our last day before we take some time off for Thanksgiving. The last 3 or 4 years, I'm saying 2, we have not performed it. Not for any reason other than 1 year we completely forgot. The other 2 years, it just didn't work with what was going on with the show. So Miles said yesterday, hey, man, we should do that. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while. And then we read the scripts. And we looked at each other. And Miles goes, hey, man, we absolutely should not do this. I'm like, no, this is terrible. Ted agreed. We were like, this is just overtly racist and horrible.
Oh,
right?
no, it's terrible.
And
Well, it was a different time. So, like, I'm looking here. All right, what is this one? This one is, I'll give you an idea. This one is Alligator in the River. Men Who Look Like KennyRogers.com.
Oh, I remember.
We had Holly from Land of the Lost.
She was different than I thought she'd be.
Ted talked about Bill Cosby's street cred. Even back then, he was not having a good time with that.
The Klan interview.
We have the Klan interview. We have Booker T from the WWE on this one.
We've brought up the Klan interview quite a bit. I will see if it is in fact done.
That would be great.
We are honestly
That
just
would be
going
great.
through this. We really feel like certain things that we see, we probably should not air ever again.
No. Here is Allison Krauss, who was wonderful. Do you remember that she could not get through the interview because she was laughing so much?
That's because you were flirting with her.
I was.
Miles, honest to God, Miles is laying down this funny game with her, even though it's on the phone. She just chuckled and chuckled.
Here is Elmo, the actual Elmo, who was from Baltimore, who got involved in some things that we will not talk about because, again, Steve's son isn't here. We have Steve from the Jerry Springer Show. We got only the best. Here's Tracy Guns. Hey, look, man, it wouldn't be Guns N' Roses without Tracy Guns. What else is on here?
Billy Ripken. I'm looking at mine now. Billy Ripken, who Cal Ripken's younger brother, always drunk. He was awesome.
He was great.
John Larroquette, Miles' graduation.
Oh, that must have been for my daughter's kindergarten.
Oh, segment 3. What does it say right there? Racial slurs.
Racial slurs.
Jesus, man.
No, what we're trying to explain is that this was a different time. Ari Spears.
You guys covered some hard-hitting
Roger Mosley, who was...
Roger Mosley.
He was the guy on Magnum P.I.
Oh, Magnum P.I.
Yeah, he was a helicopter guy, right?
Nikki Gonzalez, Ralphie May.
Nikki Gonzalez.
I'm just reading what we have written on these sheets. This is labeled December 27th, 2004.
Oh, here's a good one. Fat people.
Oh, geez.
No, really. I mean, like, this is just stuff that we don't even want to listen to right now because it might be just so cringeworthy that it's not appropriate.
I do.
But we have stacks and stacks and stacks of this stuff. And ultimately, as the show grows and things change and everything else, we couldn't do a lot of the things that we did then now. And, you know, I think
it's like, man, you know, was it all in the family? Like the jokes you could get away with then, they worked, right? And it's not that they're not funny, but people are exceptionally sensitive now. So even if you're doing it tongue-in-cheek, it's fun. It's just bad. And listen, I fight to be able to do this kind of stuff more than anyone I know. But this stuff, I'm still, dude, I cannot justify this.
Here's Gallagher on one. He was the guy who smashed watermelons. Who knows why the hell we had him on? Because you can't really, the visual doesn't work in the
You liked
studio.
him or something.
No,
I didn't
it's
like
Gallagher. How the hell would I know? Satan, Jews, Jesus.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to give you guys an idea.
But we don't even know what it is. We don't know what
We don't know if
context.
this is bad. I mean, it could be. That's
No,
how it's
that's got
labeled.
to be bad.
No, it's not. Jesus was a Jew. He's the king of the Jews.
True.
Let's see here. We have Shrek. Oh, God. More Jewish stuff. Well, we're in Baltimore. Baltimore had a large Jewish population.
Yeah, so we don't quite remember what we did, but in light of the Thanksgiving play, it's like, man, oh, man. And as you said, you ran into a guy after Live Day. This guy's a big fan of the show, but he said he had saved certain bits that we had done over the years, and back in 2008, he brought up something to Miles, like, man.
You could have never done that now. You know, whatever it was.
Did he say what it was?
I think we were at that point in time, we were.
Was Steve Rockenball?
No, it was the R word. As far as mentally
right.
disabled, like all these things that have evolved over time.
And that's good.
All these things, it's all good. But, you know, at that time, we still have a snapshot of us not being educated on the air in real time.
Well, so us not being educated, people stick up for themselves. Who knows?
Right.
But either way, it's and it's no problem now. It's not that. It's just crazy when you go back and listen. Because if nothing else, we at least want to be decent people. And looking back, like, oh man, that's not bad.
It was just a
Hey,
different
son,
time.
your dad hasn't always been the best man, but I've tried.
Yeah. So what we did was we were going to go back and we were going to replay the very first Ted Smith Thanksgiving. We could not find the audio on that. So what we did was we recreated it with the current members of our staff, and we're on a skeleton crew because of the holidays.
I kind of feel bad for that.
Ted's not even here to do it, and he wrote it.
Yeah, my one kind of works logistics, the other one works in promotions. They're not prepared necessarily for the things that we do. So I went up to each of them separately. I went to Erica and I said, hey, man, we're doing this overtly racist podcast, but you'll be beeped out, so it won't be awful will you do it. She's like, I'm in. I'm like, cool. I went up to Sean and I said, Sean, will you do me a favor? And he just kept looking at me. He didn't answer. So I said, fantastic, thank you. Play Ted's role. He was happy to do it. But he didn't read through the entire script before we did it. So as we're actually performing this,
he's like at this look at his face like, oh my God.
Like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this.
So that immediately we wanted to do it. But we wanted to beep everything out. And so what you're hearing here is not based on the fact that everything's been beeped out. We're beeping out the things that are inappropriate. So it's not just some crazy, let's beep everything. No. There was so much stuff in there that was so bad, we had to beep it out.
Basically, this was us at our worst, and we didn't even know it. And then even when we performed it today, knowing we were going to beep it out, I'm like, I feel terrible.
Ooh, Megan Glaros. Do you remember her?
Yes, I do.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I do.
Oh, my God. She was a former Indianapolis Colts cheerleader, like beauty pageant winner.
I saw the
think she
Snare
does
Drum
weather in
Society.
Chicago. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
You've never seen a hotter woman in your life.
So anyway, we found these
Gives
things.
you the tinglies.
These are the things that we, did you just tell my son it gives you the tinglies?
He knows what I'm talking about. When you see a good-looking woman, you're like, yeah.
He knows.
He knows.
He knows.
He's not done.
Don't be coy. This one, segment 6, Planned Parenthood.
That probably was fun. Either way, we got done with this thing today, and we're going to just kind of leave it with you on the end of our greatest podcast, Greatest Story Never Told, and it is our recreation of this. If we are going to try to go through this stack and figure out what we can put on this podcast for you as well, it just depends. It might be completely bleeped out. It might not.
We honestly don't know. And reading this stuff, other than interviews, nothing sparks. Say Planned Parenthood. Like, I have no idea what our angle was on that.
No, I don't. Here's Kevin Kline, the actual actor, Kevin Kline. That couldn't be bad, right?
We've had some bad interviews. Man.
Well, I know we've had.
We have had a lot of bad interviews.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, without further ado, here is the redacted woke version of Ted Smith's first thing that he wrote for us in 2013.
No, 2003.
Oh, good Jesus, 2003. The first Thanksgiving.
The real first Thanksgiving.
By Ted Smith.
On a dark, chilly November day in the forest of New England, about 200 or so years ago, two pilgrims named Miles and Ted set out on a journey to hunt down food. a journey that turned into one of America's greatest holidays. That feels pretty good so far.
So smooth.
In the early fall fog, strangers appear right outside the camp. Our heroes, Miles and Ted, still hungover from all the warm beer, struggle to see through the fog and determine who it is.
Cheerio, Ted!
Cheerio, Miles.
They're big, they have weapons, and worst of all, they have skin.
Okay, they are big, heavily armed men, but just don't be scared because they're not.
Maybe we should just shoot them.
Look, we can't just shoot everyone with skin. We're not from that new province, city.
How you doing?
They seem okay, Miles.
Let me handle this, Ted. I think I know how they are greeting us. We are fine. How are you doing?
We're good too, but it's just how Chief's. I'm. What are your names?
Holy smoke, Ted! With real names.
Please, I ain't no. We're.
Sorry, Chief. Miles has no couth. My name is Ted, and I guess you prefer.
Yeah, we do, but you can call me Chief. This is my common law wife. We have obviously been together for over 7 years.
Damn, Chief, it's like that?
Yeah, it's like that.
Hey, Chief, are we going to go hunting today for a turkey? Are we going to have a small feast tomorrow?
I hear one just outside camp.
You know, I could just catch one, and that way when I kill it tomorrow, it'll still be fresh.
Okay, Chief, let's do it.
So the unlikely foursome set out to catch a turkey. But our two heroes soon realized that they were infatuated with beauty, her sun-kissed skin, her full bosoms, and of course, her fat. Look, our boys were sporting. That was a bad mother.
Shut your mouth!
I'm just talking about.
There he is!
I'm not a blind, Miles.
Sorry, Chief. Damn.
What is?
Nothing.
Hold it. Hold it. Got him. Where the hell are those other two?
So you're saying once I've gone right?
Yeah, I mean, I know you got a man, but I think you should give it a try.
What are we looking for again?
Widgets. I don't know why we have not found any.
What the hell you doing out here with this man?
Oh, I'm just helping Ted find widgets.
Hey, why don't you come back and hang for a while at our camp? We have this stuff called beer, and it'll make everybody feel great.
All right, you mind if I bring some of my boys?
Nah, that's fine with us.
Later that night, back at camp, Chief brought over all of his good friends for a night of drinking and games.
Cheerio, Ted!
Cheerio, Miles.
Ted, I think it's amazing how that got this turkey.
Yeah, but I don't think they're as smart as they try to come off.
Word up, let's get this party poppin'!
Hello.
These are all my boys. That one over there, he always loses games, and we call him Degenerate. This guy invented his own game where he tried to get close to 21 without going over. We call him Black Jack.
What about him? What do you call him?
Him, man, he invented a cool game of dice, but he always poops his pants. We just call him Crabs.
Wow, these games are great. You guys should open a place where you can play them. And you can make money and your faces off.
Why do we need money? I mean, we own all this land.
Yes, and we thank you for allowing us to live here. I promise to you, the will never take your land and build the greatest nation in the world.
How? Do we have your word on that?
Yeah. You got our word. Yeah.
Good, then tomorrow we will have a big feast.
A big feast, but I don't know if we'll be able to eat that much.
Oh, don't worry, I'm bringing my pipe to smoke. You'll be hungry, trust me.
Our two heroes, Miles and Ted, awoke early to see that Chief and the rest of the Blackjack, Degenerate, and this announcer's favorite, Craps, were already there at camp preparing the meal.
Cheerio, Ted!
Cheerio, Miles.
Looks like it's going to be a great day.
I'll say, look at that on that Now that's a turkey I would like to
Yeah, I'd treat that like a piece of corn.
What do you mean?
I'd pick her up and
Calm down, Miles.
Sorry, Ted.
Hello, gentlemen. This is the type I spoke of. Would you like to try it?
Wow, this is great. Kind of feel like I've done this before.
Because you have, Miles.
It's about midday now on the first Thanksgiving, and basically everyone is stoned.
How you guys feeling?
Like I'm floating on air. Oh, that's you.
Like I'm floating on air. Miles, how do you feel?
Very.
What do you guys do now that is making dinner?
We watched lions fight another animal.
Which animal do they fight?
Well, it changes from year to year, but lions always fight. Then immediately following that, a group of we call cowboys fight someone, and this year, later, we will watch falcons descend from the sky and take on saints.
So every year on this day, you watch lions and cowboys?
Hurry up, guys, while I'm and while the food is hot and juicy.
Well, as the night went on, everyone smoked and ate a lot, and many things we have come to know about and this holiday were started that day.
So let me get this right. If the man ever takes over this land, you will for us. And always celebrate this day of giving thanks.
Yeah, we'll call your huge, gigantic plots of and we will call this day Thanksgiving Day.
Hooray! This has been the real First Thanksgiving, performed by the Men's Room. As the turkey, Steve the Thrill Hill. As Erica. As Chief Steve the Thrill Hill. As Hero Miles,
I used to like Hanson.
Montgomery. As Hero Ted, Sean. And me, I'm just some guy reading copy. This has been a Ted Smith production in association with Hulk Entertainment. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
You've been listening to The Greatest Story Never Told with Miles and Thrill on radio.com.
Oh, man! A Double Flush production.